Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, I have 5 burning questions around the Raiders and Bengals wild card game on Saturday. Now, we usually do like an overreaction Monday style of show, and that's kind of what you're going to see here. If you're wondering why my voice just squeaked, it's because I was screaming on Sunday, and I don't have much of a voice, but hopefully I lose it again after a Raiders win. If you guys want the Raiders win, like the vid. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into some of these 5 burning questions. The first one coming up here is, can Derek Carr win a playoff game? So let me know down in the comments section. Before I give my opinion on all these, I want you guys to get your votes in as well, because that's what the Raiders Report is all about. Can Carr win a playoff game? Type Y for yes, or I want you to scroll on down and type N for no. The answer to this is 4 no, Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. Absolutely, Derek Carr can win a freaking playoff game. I get it. Carr's never played in a playoff game. He's got 127 career games without a postseason appearance. I've heard it a million times this week. But you know what? The Raiders' last 4 games, in my opinion, they were all playoff caliber. They were 6-7. They needed to win all 4 games. You won all 4 of them, and then if we're like, all right, you beat the Broncos, you beat the Browns, they had backup quarterbacks, cool. The Colts were the hottest team in the NFL. You beat them 23-20 on the road. Chargers, Sunday Night Football. That was absolutely a playoff game. You went ahead and won that. So even though it wasn't technically the playoffs, for anybody out there that says Derek Carr can't win a playoff game, guess what, man? Show them these numbers. Show them this show here. You can go ahead and direct them to me at Mitchell Renz 365. Now, one of the things that I have been a little bit critical on DC is this. Over the past 4 games, he has struggled a little bit. 5 touchdowns, 6 turnovers, 878 yards, completion percentage of 68.5. But, and I mean but, we've always said it doesn't matter how you start the season, doesn't matter how you start games, it's a matter of how you finish them. And DC hasn't really been all that great in the first half, hasn't really been that great in the third quarter, but when it comes down to it, if the Raiders have that opportunity in the final game and we need a game-winning drive, right now DC is a top 5 clutch quarterback in the National Football League, and if anybody doesn't think that that matters, please tell me what's going on. And for the first time in Carr's career, he's got a dominant defense. And Gus Bradley's defense right now is playing at a very, very high level. And Carr, all he's doing is carrying this team in terms of leadership and showing a lot of confidence in the huddle. So can Derek Carr win a playoff game? Yeah, he can. Now, what I want you guys to do is cheer on the Raiders with me on Saturday. I am going to be working, and we're going to be doing a watch party. Raiders versus Bengals. So subscribe. Turn on those notifications. I don't know if you got to set a reminder. We had an absolutely rockin' watch party last weekend, and I want the same energy this weekend. So the show's going to start at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 minutes before kickoff, and 1:20 p.m. Pacific Time. So subscribe, tell your friends. Heck, even watch the game on your television if you have it. You can pay for cable. And if you have it, mute it, put us on, interact with us, because I know not everyone can go, but I want everyone to be loud down in the comments and cheering on the silver and black. Let's go to the next one here. 5 burning questions. Should the Raiders keep Bisaccia in 2022? It's going to be a good question here, and I am going to ask you the question. Should the Raiders go out and keep Bisaccia? I'm personally going to go ahead and give this one 4 no Chucky heads, because, yes, the Raiders should absolutely keep Rich Bisaccia. He deserves to come back next season. Now, I've also said this. It doesn't mean either he's going to come back as a head coach. So we'll keep on breaking all this down here, because if I was the Raiders, I'd say, Bisaccia, you earn your right. You really carry this team. You're definitely a glue guy. The players, they want him back. What's the number that you want to come back? Because I don't know if I'd want him back as a head coach, but to have him as an assistant head coach, as a special teams guy, bring somebody else in. That way you have a bunch of different people talking, bunch of different people being able to put their 2 cents in, because Gruden was just given way too much power. But I will also say this. If he wins a playoff game, wins 2 playoff games, Super Bowl, I don't really see how you let him walk. So should Las Vegas keep Bisaccia in 2022? Type K for keep, or I want you to go ahead and type W for let him walk. The reason why I am typing my K for keep is because this season for Las Vegas has been the craziest season in any NFL team's history of all time. I don't care what anybody says. I really, truly believe that. You had your whole situation with your coach getting fired. You had your situation with Henry Ruggs. You had a situation with Damon Arnett. And even most recently with Nate Hobbs. Now, sure, there's still some investigation to go with Nate Hobbs, and we're still going to be able to figure that whole situation out. But, like, this season, somebody please tell me a more crazy season in any NFL team's history than what you saw this year. And the fact that Bisaccia was able to get his team to the playoffs, I really truly believe that means that you should keep him. But let me also say this. If you're out there and you're saying, oh, I want the Raiders to keep Bisaccia, I want the Raiders to keep Bisaccia, then you also have to keep Derek Carr, because Derek Carr also deserves a lot of credit for being a leader in that locker room. And the fact that they've won the games when they did, Carr deserves a lot of credit. So if you see people that are saying, oh, they need to keep Bisaccia, but they shouldn't keep Derek Carr, to me, that those ideas, they don't align. So if you're going to do one, you got to do the other. And here's the last thing. I want to give them one chance. You give them one chance without the chaos. Hopefully, fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed there's no chaos next season. But imagine a world where Bisaccia gets an entire offseason. Derek Carr gets one more year. You tell him, hey, 1 year you're playing on this contract, $19.9 million. We're going to try to build a team around you. We're going to have certain draft picks in Las Vegas. I say you let it ride. You see what can happen. Now, this also goes to stand. Maybe you can't bring in the head coach that you wanted, or the head coach that you were initially going out for. They're not here anymore. I am confident in this, though. If you keep Bisaccia, you got to keep Derek Carr. Who knows? Maybe they can get it done with 1 year without chaos. Or here's your other option. You get rid of both Carr, you get rid of Bisaccia, and you go into full rebuild mode. You bring in a head coach that you're confident can totally rebuild, because if you don't bring back Carr, you trade him, you get multiple first-round picks in return, you invest those first-round picks into the head coach that you're hoping. So that's where personally I'm at. You either keep Bisaccia and Carr, you build around those guys, or you get rid of them. You try to do a full new rebuild with whoever the new head coach is. I don't really know if there's a totally in between, whether it is. But, hey, it's going to be a fun offseason. There's no doubt about it. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and bet on the Raiders this week, one place to do it, and one place only. That's at chatsports.com/Raiders. Promo code Raiders125. It's going to get you 125% deposit bonus. So if you put down $100, you get $125 for free to bet with. And for first-time BetUS users, we also got a special deal going on. I got my Derek Carr jersey from this offer. Now, we don't have Carr jerseys available, but we do have Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, and Max Crosby jerseys available for those first-time BetUS users. And you have to make a bet before the Raiders and Bengals game gets kicked off. If you make one an hour or 2 hours later, sorry, can't help you. Deal's not valid anymore. So for first-time BetUS users that go to chatsports.com/Raiders, that use promo code Raiders125, when you sign up and deposit with BetUS, we are also going to give you a free, yes, I said free Raiders jersey. Just send me your account number to the email that you see down there below, jersey@chatsports.com. If for whatever reason you weren't paying attention because you saw a free jersey, it's all good. I got a mind of squirrel too. Email me, jersey@chatsports.com, and we'll get you the details. All right, let's go to my next burning question here. Does defense win championships? I've found myself saying a lot. The offense is where I would like to go in terms of a head coach. It's an offensive-minded league now. But my question is this. Does defense win championships? Type D for defense, meaning yes. Or if you're like, no, offenses win championships, type no. Because last season, in the Super Bowl, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they didn't win it because of Tom Brady. They won because of that defense. That defense got after Patrick Mahomes, really slowed him down, and they won the game 31-9. That's why they won the Super Bowl. So type D for yes, that defense does win championships, or O, that it doesn't. Here's my answer to this. I'm going to go ahead and give this one 2-no Chucky heads in terms of defense winning championships, because a great team wins a championship. The Buccaneers, they had a great team. The year before that, the Chiefs, they had a great team. When teams win championships, it's a total team effort. Offense, defense, special teams. You need to have everything going. Now, I will say this. The Raiders' defense has carried the offense the past 4 weeks. No doubt about it. There's no other way you can shake it. However, the offense has been a lot more clutch than the defense. The defense last week, it's 29-14. They give up a whole bunch of scores, but Derek Carr's like, you know what? It's okay. Hold my beer. We're going to go out. We're going to lead some game-winning drives, and that's what the offense has done. So even though the defense has carried them, I really think the offense has been more clutch. So when you look at some of these right here, over the last 4 games, the defense has played stellar. They've allowed 19.8 points per game during this streak. Against the Browns, Broncos, 2 backup quarterbacks, that's fine. This Colts team, they were rocking and rolling. In this Chargers game, realistically, they were in control for most of it, and I do think that they got a little bit tired, got a little bit complacent, but 19.8 points per game, that's really impressive. And in terms of where does that rank in terms of a full season, here were the top 5 defenses in the National Football League in terms of points per game this year. 19.8 would put you in the top 5. If you're rocking and rolling with a top 5 defense, yes, that type of defense can absolutely win a championship. Can the offense now get back to seeing them clicking on all cylinders? Because if the offense can get clicking on all cylinders like we saw before the whole Henry Ruggs situation, and you're playing this type of defense with a kicker like Daniel Carlson, I wouldn't want to play the Raiders. Let's go to the last one here. Not last one. I still got one more. Get it together, Mitch. Pound the rock. Should the Raiders pound the rock up against the Cincinnati Bengals? So here's the question I'm going to hit you guys with. How many carries would you give Josh Jacobs up against the Cincinnati Bengals? So what I want you to do, let me know down in the comment section. How many carries would you give Jacobs against the Bengals? In terms of should the Raiders pound the rock, I'm going to give this one 3-no Chucky heads, and I'm going to say it's pretty likely that the Raiders' main game plan is going to be this. Going and trying to run the ball down the throat of Cincinnati, because over the past 4 games, Jacobs has looked good. I think he's looked really healthy. He's running the ball with a lot of purpose, and he's kind of running like he's worried about his contract. To be 100% with y'all, that's how well Jacobs has run. Now, the weather conditions in Cincinnati, which we're about to talk about here, may force the Raiders to go to a little bit more of a run-heavy style of offense. And the offense wants to be balanced. I mean, you heard Derek Carr talk about it. When you have a running game, it opens up so many different things. And the Raiders this season have definitely had some issues in terms of getting separation since Ruggs and Waller's been battling some injuries himself. And if you can rely on Jacobs to run the ball the way that he's been running, I mean, that's really, really going to help open up a lot of things for your offensive side of the football. Now, in terms of some numbers, I got some pretty cool numbers here. Shout out to Sam and my entire stat team. And the 8 games so here's the thing. Josh Jacobs has played in 15 games. And 15 of those games, 8 of them they've won, 7 of them they lost. In the 8 wins, 138 carries, 579 yards. He's averaged 4.2 yards per carry, has 7 touchdowns, 1 fumble. In the 7 losses, 79 carries, 293 yards, 3.8 yards per carry, 3.7, and 2 touchdowns, 1 fumble. Now, on a per-game basis, that is 17.3 carries, 72.4 rushing yards per game in the wins, and 4.2 yards per carry, 0.07 touchdowns. In the losses, 11.3 carries, 41.9 yards per game. I'm not saying there's a direct correlation with when the Raiders run the ball, they win more games, but I do think this. The way Josh has been running the football, and if I'm an NFL team, basically it's week 19, injuries start to pile up. Would you really want to have to tackle Josh Jacobs in a game that's supposed to be freezing cold over and over and over again? The answer to that is a big old fat no. Now, before I give you my final burning question, you guys can always hit me up on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. If something's burning you, I could probably find you something on the internet. So hit me up, slide in those DMs at Mitchell Renz 365. Also, if there's questions, news, anything going on around this Raiders and Bengals game throughout the week, I will go ahead and do my best to keep you guys up to date on my Instagram story. So hit me up at Mitchell Renz 365. The last thing is this. I've been hearing a lot of chatter about the weather, and in fact, for those of you that don't know, my dad, he is like a weatherman. He's literally in my phone as Doppler. Like, that dude, all he does is watch the weather. He calls me this morning, goes, "Hey, man, have you seen the weather forecast for the Raiders and Bengals game?" I'm like, "No, Dad, tell me about it." So he goes that there's a chance of snow on Saturday, and I was like, all right, well, let's take a little bit of deeper dive into this. It's supposed to be mostly cloudy with a high of 32 degrees. 32 degrees. 50% chance of participation in Cincinnati. Now, usually when people talk, they're like, well, Derek can't play in cold weather games, which has actually been 100% debunked. He can actually get it done, no doubt about it. So what I did is this. I'm going to do my best weatherman impression here, and I checked the weather Wednesday in Cincinnati. What you guys can see is you're going to be a little bit of snow coming in, some participation, and a big old frontal. You know what that big frontal is coming in from Las Vegas? It's the Raiders. And if you want to talk about a storm that's getting ready to come into Cincinnati, I don't want to hear about the weather. I don't want to hear about this and that. Carr can't play in cold weather games. You know what? This team is playing at a high level. They've won 4 games in a row, and the only storm that's getting ready to come brewing into Cincinnati is the Las Vegas Raiders, and it's brewing right through. It's going to roll all the way through, and we're going to go to the next round of the playoffs. Now, here's my question, because when Cincinnati's coach Zach Taylor was asked, who does this impact? He just said, it's not going to impact us, and he kind of said it like in a way like, it's not going to impact us, it's going to impact the Raiders. Who benefits from the weather more? If you think it's the Las Vegas Raiders, I want you to go ahead and type LV. If you think it's the Cincinnati Bengals, I want you to type CIN. The reason why I really truly believe it is the Raiders is because the Raiders' defense is built, and they've been playing very well recently, even stopping the run, where the Bengals' offense, they want to throw the ball around. They want to chuck it around. And the fact that the Raiders and Bengals played last time in a dome, and the Raiders' defense played as well as it did, I am putting faith in this defense in Las Vegas, combined with the ability to be able to run the football. I am 100% going to be going ahead and spamming LV. Now, as a reminder, y'all, if you haven't gotten started yet with our sportsbook partner, make sure you go ahead and do so. It's chatsports.com/Raiders. Promo code Raiders125 if you're looking to get a free Raiders jersey for first-time BetUS users. All you got to do, use the promo code that I just showed you, go to the link, and we got Jacobs, we got Crosby, we got Waller jerseys all available to you. Email me. Just blow up my email, jersey@chatsports.com for the free jersey details.